Welcome to WorkSource Pierce Employer Spotlight, a series of video interviews with local Pierce County employers. Developed in partnership with the Department of Vocational Rehabilitation, ResCare Workforce Services, and the Employment Security Department. And here's today's Employer Spotlight.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another one of our terrific Employer Spotlights. This is Samuel Bradshaw with the DSHS Division of Vocational Rehabilitation with you once again. Today with me, I have some incredible partners from Advanced Healthcare. Joining me are going to be Lynessa Stone and JoAnne Martinez. They're going to tell us quite a bit about their roles, the organization itself, the culture of the company, all that good stuff. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to either shoot those to the contact information that'll be at the end of the video, or to go ahead and drop those in the comments box, and we'll try to get those as quickly as we can. So without further adu, ladies, why don't you introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your company?
Sure, Samuel. Well, thank you for having us. We are happy to be here. So I am Lynessa Stone, and I do marketing and community outreach, as well as helping out with recruiting at Advanced Healthcare. I've been here, almost 15 years in this role. So I love my job, and I'm happy to be here and talk about all the opportunities that we have. And so that's a little bit about what I do.
Fantastic. And JoAnne, how about you?
Yes, I'm JoAnne. I'm the HR manager for Advanced Healthcare. I've been with the company for 2 years and enjoying this new healthcare. I started with the healthcare with Advanced Healthcare. And so far we have a wonderful staff, and that's one of the reasons I joined the team.
Fantastic, fantastic. So I'm going to get right into the meat and potatoes of the conversation. Can you tell us a little bit about your company itself and then the positions you currently have available?
Sure. Well, we are a private duty home healthcare company. So that means we are licensed with the state of Washington to provide both nursing services and caregiving services out in people's homes. So our clients are not in a building, like some folks think when they hear the word healthcare. We don't have a facility. We are going out into people's individual homes or sometimes into assisted or retirement living communities and providing that one-on-one care that they might need to stay safe. And especially now when folks are really choosing the option to be at home and get the safe and secure care in their own home, that's what our wonderful caregivers and employees allow our clients to do, is to stay safe, age in place, go through a disease process in place, and have the assistance of those caregivers that are sometimes critical to making sure that they can stay home or supporting the family caregivers who maybe are doing the bulk of that caregiving for the person. So that's a little bit about our agency. We've been locally owned. We are privately owned, second generation family business. We've been around since 1984. Our ownership lives here locally. We care about the community, we care about our employees that we have, and we're just really happy that we can still be privately owned in an industry that's full of larger corporations and a lot of franchises. So I think that's one thing that makes us really unique, is kind of our family and local small private approach to the way that we do business and to hiring employees.
Fantastic, fantastic. So a lot of service-based healthcare roles. I love it. That's something that's...
And as far as jobs that we hire for, so we have several levels. Like you heard me mention, we provide nursing services. So we do have a small team of LPNs and RNs that provide that skilled care that sometimes clients need to be able to stay home. But the bulk of what we do is really the caregiving. So sometimes that's known as activities of daily living, those things that we all take for granted that we can do for ourselves, right? Things like bathing, dressing, personal care, toileting, meal preparation, housekeeping, some of the things that are the first to kind of slip by the wayside when folks are experiencing illness or maybe advancing in age. And so those are the tasks that our caregivers really do a lot of to help folks stay at home.
Awesome, awesome. So those sound like pretty exciting roles. If we could, maybe we could double click into, your normal recruiting and hiring process. I'm thinking, where and how people apply, the documents they might need, whether it's a cover letter, resume, any of that stuff. What the process is after the fact. Do you have a COVID-19 specific related things, any of that stuff?
Yeah. JoAnne, do you want to take those technical things?
Absolutely. Thank you. So Yes, absolutely. The application process is very easy. It's all online. And so once we receive the application via email, or we'll get an email notification, and we try to reach out to you within the first 24 hours to get you set up for an interview. And so after that interview process is completed, then hopefully if you make it through the process, that you'll be able to join us in our next orientation day that's available. And the credentials that you would need in order to to be qualified for the positions, you definitely would have to have your 7 hours of your HIV/AIDS certification, a current CPR card, current negative TB result as well, and you must have a vehicle and auto insurance in order to work for advanced healthcare. And so if if you don't have one of those documents, as far as the CPR or 7 hours of HIV or TB, we definitely try to help out in that spectrum to get you on board, especially if you have caregiving experience. And of course, we try to, one of the advantages that we have as far as the caregivers, one of the benefits of working for advanced healthcare is that the caregivers get to make their own schedule, and we allow that flexibility because we do have 24-hour, 7 days a week care that we need to provide for our clients. And so we have nursing students that love it. They're willing to put in on the weekends or overnight. It helps out with with homework and whatever they need to do. And then we have some individuals that are stay-at-home moms or just want to work around with school when their kids are at school. And so yeah, it's been great. We've had quite a great pool of caregivers. And you mentioned something about COVID, how we were handling it. I have to admit that Advanced Healthcare, the management team got together probably a week or two prior to this hitting, before the shutdown back in March. And Lynessa can attest to this as well. We had protocols set in place, and we had to take a look at our client to caregiver ratio and to minimize that in order to minimize the contact. We've been sending out weekly communication letters to our caregivers and our clients to give them updates of what's going on as well. Our caregivers will, we've asked caregivers, hey, we understand if there's that fear and that paranoia that if they feel like they need to reduce hours or if they need to stay home with their families, that they're more than likely welcome to do that as well. But I have to admit, maybe probably a few decided to go ahead and they opted out for that option. But majority of the caregivers no, this is what we're called for. This is why we work here. They're very close to their clients as well. So that's also a big plus. And we're just not hiring just any caregiver. These caregivers would actually have to have some kindness and compassion in them too, to give some of these clients. You think of the clients that we have today, or some of the elderly, they don't have families to come visit them at home, and so the only social contact they have is with that caregiver. So yes, Lynessa, did you want to touch up on that or touch on that?
I was going to say, we, being healthcare and being that we have a licensure with the state that we are surveyed on every 2 years and have to comply with a lot of regulations, just like other healthcare companies or hospitals. Mm-hmm. So we had the PPE, things like gloves and masks and hand sanitizer. Those have been a big push for us. We've always used gloves if we're doing personal contact care with clients. We're just doing that now with masks as well. So maybe that wasn't as prevalent before. Otherwise, being in healthcare, a lot of times that foremost thought in our mind is taking those universal precautions, which keep everybody safe from fluids and aerosolized fluids and things like that. So really the only physical change that you might notice with caregivers these days is just using more of that glove and face mask being a requirement, just like it is everywhere else, to keep both our clients safe and our caregivers safe. And then we just re-stress the importance of hand washing, but that if folks have been in this industry and are a nursing assistant, they know that hand washing is primary to wherever they work, whether it's a skilled nursing facility, somebody's home, that's something that's been drilled into them on the importance of that hand washing. So that's kind of our approach. We've had a healthy workforce. We've had healthy clients. We're very thankful for that. And that's because of our great team of caregivers that are really taking this seriously and are doing their best to keep their clients and themselves safe.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys are doing a really good job to take care of not only your customers and clients, but also the people that work for you, which is fantastic to hear. You know, people always worry right now, you know, am I going to be safe when I'm going out to work? It sounds like this is a really safe role where lots of precautions are being taken.
It is. And if they want, you know, one client, we can really try to work with them on providing a one client working environment for them. So maybe they are coming from a facility where there's been positive COVID exposure and they're fearful of that. We're not taking care of anyone with COVID. So that's just an assurance to our caregivers that, you know, they're in a safe and secure working environment because they're in somebody's private home and they're not taking care of 30 people. They're taking care of maybe one or two throughout the course of their week, depending on their availability. So
fantastic. So I want to shift gears just a little bit from this conversation. Tell me a little bit from both of your experiences, what really makes a resume or an application or a cover letter pop to advanced healthcare? Like, what are the big things you're looking for that make those stand out? Because I'm sure you see a lot of them.
Well, I'll take this one. So I look at the institute that they went to in order to obtain their CNA license or RN or LPN, the length of experience, and also I look at one of the reasons, or going through the pre-screening interview, I ask them why they want to leave their current position as well. And then their employment history it's a big plus for us. So that's the overall of what we look at, what kind of care they're willing to, what kind of care they're providing, and if what their situation is. Are they moving, where are they coming, where are they going, or and those are the things that we look at. And but like I said, majority of the interview process, and when you really get to know a person, you really get to know a person face to face. So there is the interviews that are being conducted. They come into the office, of course, and there are times that our nursing supervisors who conduct the interviews are doing it by Zoom, so we'll connect them with the nursing supervisors. And yes, and communication is huge. So we will contact you. We'll use, first you'll receive a phone call, then you'll receive a text message, and you'll receive an email from us. So communication is huge for us.
Well, so something that I think is very near and dear to everyone in this area's heart is, you know, the veteran presence. We have an incredible military presence here, lots of military families, retiring vets, military spouses, kids of military folks. What can you tell me about your organization's experience hiring and placing veterans and their families?
Oh, love our veterans, and I wish we could have more of them. They've been very essential to this organization. We have veterans in our office and as well out in the field. And usually the veterans that are out in the field are probably have experience with PTSD. So if we have clients with PTSD, we'll try to match those skill sets, and they definitely have that commonality. And so, yes, the more the better. They have the same rights. We prefer them, no, only because they're disciplined. They know the nature of the business as well. Sure. So yeah,
we're actually owned by a Vietnam veteran, so we're veteran owned. We also have a contract with the VA that we provide a lot of veterans who are receiving care through a federal program. So we serve a lot of veterans that need the help of caregivers to stay at home. So it's always wonderful when you can pair up a veteran from one branch of the service, maybe with another military vet that has been in service or is the spouse of, because there's a lot of commonality there. So.
Sure. Well, so JoAnne, I heard you mention individuals who may have, you know, some kind of disabilities like PTSD, right? One thing that's very near and dear to my personal heart is individuals with disabilities as an employee of the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation. What can you tell us a little bit about your experience hiring and placing individuals with disabilities?
Well, first thing we look at, of course, we must comply with the federal laws, of course, and there is no difference as far as our hiring practices are concerned. They can apply, they can interview at the same time. One of the things that we look at is that they're able to fulfill the essential job responsibilities as a caregiver. And so if they have limitations, they would disclose that after the date of hire as well. So it's fair game across the board.
Fantastic. So what about company culture? It sounds like, local owned, veteran owned, family business. What can you tell me a little bit more around the company's culture?
Can I take this one, or you want to take it?
No, go ahead.
My experience. I want to talk about from my experience.
Yeah, that would be great.
Is that, yes, we all hold like job titles, but job titles are only a source where the caregivers can go to. And so we don't think of ourselves, or anyone that has like a manager status or whatever, we don't think of ourselves as above or below anyone else. We are here, the office is here to support the caregivers. It's not the other way around. So because they are the backbone of this company to make it as successful as it is. But like I said, communication is huge. So anytime there's an issue or a problem, there are surveys that go out to our caregivers where they can give feedback to see how we're doing as an employer and areas that we can develop. And so that's been crucial to, as far as growth potential. So Lynessa?
Yeah, I love what you say, and I think that is true. We all recognize, I think now more than ever, it's in the forefront of our mind that our caregivers are truly the heart of our business. And if we don't have the care staff, then there's no need for us to be in the office supporting them. So they are first. And we really want to hire folks who carry our mission of compassion, commitment, whether it's commitment to their client, commitment to their job, commitment to their families if they have family commitments. And then I think the third one is communication. So JoAnne mentioned it already, but being a person who returns a phone call or answers a text or shows up when they say they're going to show up, that's really important when you're taking care of people who maybe are depending on you to get out of bed that day, right? You can't just not go to work because you don't feel like it. So I think we're making sure that we're hiring people who are really as committed to other humans and compassion as we possibly can, because it is a very touchy-feely, compassionate type of business. You're doing personal care. You're not just at a factory pulling a lever, right? We're doing human-to-human interaction. And so people that recognize the privilege that it is to be in our clients' homes, because let's face it, if we're there, it means something has gone wrong, or they're aging and it's not as expected, or they need that help. They don't want to need it, but we are honored to go in and partner with them to provide care that they need so that they can be at home. So I think just finding caregivers that truly have a heart for other people, and especially for elderly, since that's the majority of our clients are our seniors.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So COVID-19 has kind of changed the game for a lot of industries. But just based on our conversation today and what we've talked about thus far, it seems to me that even in the short or long term, advanced healthcare's business is not changing too much. Is that a pretty fair statement? Because it sounds like the organization is just really moving the ball forward, ensuring that both the provider themselves and that customer are both being safe, but also that you're meeting the needs of the customer. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I think we, if anything, have experienced an increased demand in families and individuals wanting to stay at home and needing the care of our providers to be able to do that. So we just continue to look for more wonderful people that are willing to partner with us on that journey, whether it's for 1 year, 2 years while they're going to nursing school, or whether they feel like this is their calling and they've done it for 20 years and they're looking for a good supportive employer. We have those employees currently on staff, and in order to meet the demand that's out there, we want to find more of those great caregivers who are willing to partner with us in that mission.
Fantastic. And so in regards to additional requirements and candidates need to be aware of, I know we talked about the 7-hour HIV/AIDS training and a few other licensure requirements. Can you just hit on those one more time so they're clear?
Okay. So they would definitely have to have their 7 hours of their HIV/AIDS training certification, their current CPR, and negative TB result within the past year or 10 years of chest X-ray. Also, driver's license and auto insurance, and also must pass the Washington Patrol background check.
Fantastic. And if
And
they
the
don't have
credential-
some or part of those done, that's something that you guys can help them with?
I'm sorry?
If somebody doesn't have some part of that package complete, you can help them get to that point?
Yes, absolutely. We can help them with their HIV/AIDS certification. We can help them with their TB, and then, but we also have resources for CPR that we're able to provide for them if they're wanting to. And they definitely would have to have their current NAR license or their NAC license or RN or LPN license through the state of or Department of Health.
Yeah, because of our license, we have to abide by our state licensure, which requires that we hire folks who are either registered or certified nursing assistants or a nursing license if they're applying for a nursing position. So we call our caregivers, CNAs, NARs. We kind of use all those terms interchangeably. But if folks know they have their state credential license and there's a number on there, and that's the number that we need to be able to prove that we're hiring folks that are credentialed in Washington.
Fantastic. So is there anything else you'd like anybody watching to know?
I don't have anything.
No, just that if you have a heart for people, and even if you have very limited availability, say you're only available 1 day a week, we'll take that, because we have clients who sometimes want care 1 day a week, or maybe you're relieving their primary caregiver so that they can have a day off. So don't let your availability limit you. We ask that you are going to, be with us for maybe a year at a time. But if it's only 1 day a week, or sometimes two days a month, we'll take that as long as you're committed to that time frame, so that we can plug you in with clients who can then depend on you.
Incredible. So ladies, can you tell us where folks can apply for your open roles right now, or how they can apply right now?
Yeah.
Okay. They can visit our website at advancedhealthcare.com and go to the careers page and click on the credential that you have, and it'll take you directly to the application. But they also have a list of the requirements that we're looking for in order to become a caregiver with Advanced Healthcare.
Fantastic.
And I'll just reiterate that we are hiring. We have 2 offices where our support staff is. So we cover kind of the Tacoma, South King County, all of Pierce County. We do have an office in Olympia too for folks who are down there. I know we're focused on Pierce County today, but we do have employees and clients in other surrounding counties as well. So if people are moving, sometimes we're able to move with them because we're in the place that they're moving to.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. So for anybody watching, I just want to make sure you all heard that. You can go to advancedhealthcare.com. You're going to go to their careers page. You're going to take a look there. They have job opportunities, it sounds like, in South King County, Pierce County, and Thurston County. So no matter where you are with us here in Western Washington, you can take a look there and find a really great career serving the healthcare community and serving some folks in need. I think there's some great opportunities. Ladies, I want to thank you for joining us here today. Thank you so very much for the information and everything. Any final notes on your part before I send us off?
I don't think so. Thanks for this opportunity, and we look forward to answering any questions. Folks can always go to Google and put in Advanced Healthcare, and we should come up if I've done my job. So yeah, we look forward to connecting with them. They can, email, and they can apply online anytime, day or night.
All right, one more time, that's advancedhealthcare.com. You can take a look at the careers page. And again, South King, Pierce, and Thurston counties, a lot of incredible job opportunities. If you have any questions for us, again, always hit that comments button below. You can also email us. Further, if you have any questions or concern for the ladies with Advanced Healthcare, go ahead and go to their careers page and reach out to the Tacoma office. They'll be able to help you out. Super excited to have them with us today. Thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for watching. Please feel free to contact the employer at the address shown. Tell them WorkSource sent you.